Yo, kinfolk and skinfolk, what it do? Newbies, y'all not in the wrong place. Y'all are in the right place. The lifers will tell you that place is called the Life Be Lifing Podcast. Alright? We are hosted by none other than the hostess with the mostest, the dynamic, the witty, the wonderful, the electric and eclectic, squishy gangster, Mimi, the goddess.
What it do, folks? Gotta get a sign language clap. I'm teaching my niece sign language. She's being
Thorough,
homeschooled, so I'm like, getting to get back into the swing of that. So
thorough. ASL is a dope thing to have in the kit.
it is. It is. More people should learn it.
I concur. And our resident ASL artist is being flanked by none other than your favorite freckle fat man, your favorite coach's favorite coach, the big dog himself. Coach. That's the name we running with. All that other stuff y'all hearing on the other podcast, we
Yes,
putting it to bed. We sticking
Baghdad.
with Coach. Favorite coach's favorite coach, Big Dog. That's
Yes,
what we running
yes.
with from here
Done,
on in.
done, done,
No
done.
confusion, all right? Let's just get it straight.
Yeah.
All right, man. I hope y'all been having a good week. I hope everything been good with y'all. We ain't gonna hold y'all up no further. We gonna get to this topic, and I am going to let the hostess with the mostest bring us in, because it's gonna get good.
Oh man, we always hear the term, you have to forgive and forget. But we
Woo.
all know that's not the easiest thing to do sometimes because people really do make it very hard. And then sometimes people really say they forgive you and they're going to forget, but they want to hold that shit over your head. So we're going to get into that today. And I have a nice little clip I want to share. Let's see.
Person and forgive them at the same time. You can't. The whole performative thing. You got to do X, Y, and Z. Like, yes, there's a roadmap to atonement, but that does not include further persecuting a person for something that they did. And I'm not saying that every man is like this. Again, I don't even want to pretend that most men are like this. But the man that understands that he made a mistake, his conviction is going to do much more to him than you ever could. Him realizing that I've put my home at risk, I've put my foundation at risk, I hurt the woman that I love, the woman that pours into me, that's gonna him up more than you being mad, more than like him having to walk on eggshells, him having to breast. It's you can't punish a person who heart punished them first. So if his heart hasn't punished him, there's nothing to forgive. There's nothing to work on. There's like check his heart first. If he not up about what he did to you, there's nothing to talk about.
Do us a favor because the first part of the clip cuts off. So could you, for the crowd, reiterate the question that the young lady asked that Trip Fontaine was answering?
So it wasn't even in
It
there. So that
wasn't
I don't
really a.
even know that.
Okay,
No.
I got it. I got it though. I do actually know what preceded it. What she said was, why do we act like forgiveness is linear? And if so, what is the timeline? And that's what led to Tripp's response.
So where did you see that? Because I was wondering what led him to spill all that real ass information on forgiving and forgetting. Where did you see that?
He might have posted the full clip, or it might have been the full clip posted
Hmm.
elsewhere. Because when you create content, you gotta split your clip a couple of
You
different
got
ways. You
gotta make that thing stretch.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we got to find that
Gotta
and
stretch
drop
the
it in
Yoda.
there. Because I was wondering. Yeah. Like some Yoda, that's hilarious. So yeah, we're gonna have to drop that clip in there for people that are wondering what sparked Trip to provide such an answer
For
to
sure.
that topic. Yeah.
For
So
sure. For sure.
yeah, I don't know. I have, my mixed feelings and emotions about forgiving and forgetting. But
Damn.
as a man, I want to ask you, what are your thoughts on forgive and forget?
All right. I don't truly believe in forgive and forget. I don't. I don't
Oh,
believe that you can actually, like, especially these most traumatic things. I don't think you ever forget them. I don't even think you're supposed to forget them. I don't think that in order to forgive, you have to forget. Because 9 times out of 10, when things happen to us, there's a lesson we're supposed to get from it.
yeah,
So if you forget, you'll often forget the lesson.
yeah,
So it's not so much forgive and forget. And pardon the verbiage because it's going to sound like I'm simplifying it or whatever, you know what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. But my thing is forgive and let go. That's my thing. You feel me, Lugo?
It's-
You feel me?
yeah.
You
He with you. He with you.
feel
I'm
me?
about to have to go put him up.
I miss you too, big dog. I miss you too. Um,
Oh
but
my gosh.
that's the thing is forgive and let go, right? That's more practical. Or forgive and move on if that makes y'all feel more comfortable. Because I know people being told to let go of things really can, rankle, you know what I mean, your hackles. It can ruffle your feathers because it seems like somebody's being dismissive. But I will say forgive and move forward is better to me than forgive and forget. Because if you bust me upside my head, I could forgive you for busting me upside my head. But if you're the type of person to bust somebody upside their head, I shouldn't forget that. Because the next time you go to bust me upside my head, mm, you feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that I can protect myself. Now I know what to do. So I don't think the lessons are meant to be thrown away as to why you forget. But I know why people say forgive and forget. People say forgive and forget because people hold on to the pain more than they hold on to the lesson. Um, so and they'll say it's holding on to the lesson, but you're holding on to the pain, you're holding on to the frustration, you're holding on to the feeling of betrayal, you're holding on to whatever negative energy, whatever negative impact that it had on you. That's what you're holding on to. Why people want to say forget, because they feel like if they could talk you into forgetting that this happened, then all those feelings that will go with it. But that's not human and that's not practical. It's just not. And like I said, I don't even think you're supposed to forget. If you were if somebody you know is a thief, right? You're not supposed to forget they're a thief. You're supposed to give them grace to where, not everywhere they walk around, you like, I'm behind you, I'm behind you, I'm behind you, I'm behind you, I'm making sure you ain't stealing stuff. If you forgave them, you know what I'm saying? But you should remember to put away the good china. You might be a person who leave cash around in the house. Don't leave it down when the thieving homeboy, uncle, sister, whoever comes through. Like, don't. You know what I'm saying? If you got that alcoholic homie, you're not supposed to forget that he crashed out um because he was drinking and driving. You're not supposed to forget that. You got injured in that crash or whatever, what have you. So you're not supposed to hold it over his head like Mish mentioned earlier. You're not supposed to every time Budweiser commercial come on, you be like, this nigga, look at him while you watching the commercials. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to do that, but you're supposed to, if y'all go somewhere and this is your alcoholic homie, if y'all go somewhere, you supposed to know not to offer him a drink, an alcoholic beverage. You supposed to know that if y'all want to go somewhere, you should consider places that don't serve alcohol. So retain the lesson, of course, but let go of the pain. So y'all in a place now where you forgave him for whatever that car crash cost you, but you don't forget that it cost you and that this man could still be dealing with them demons. You forgave him, but he could still be, dealing with those demons. You forgave her, but she could still be battling with them demons, and on occasion she might be losing. You know what I'm saying? So you're not holding it over her head, but you're aware of what's going on. You see the signs, and you adapt and you act accordingly. So that's my base explanation for forgive and forget, how I feel about
I feel like when people say, so everyone wants to think of forgive and forget in terms of dating and relationships, right? And being that both you and I are married, we know that sometimes things happen where we have to ask for people to forgive us, you know, and hope that they don't hold it over our head, so to speak. Do we expect them to forget it? No, because we know that's highly unlikely. But what we don't expect to happen is for every opportunity they have to bring that shit up, they throw that in your face. It's almost like you're not going to be given the opportunity to forget because you don't want to forget that shit. And it's not because you have to be mindful, as you said, of the situation and the surroundings which cause certain things to happen. You just want some shit to complain about a lot of times. You just want some shit to pinpoint someone for because you're not dealing with your own shit. And it's easier for you to keep poking the bear with certain things that you feel are shit things, items, transgressions, happenings, whatever, that they don't deserve forgiveness for. But if you are going to forgive someone, you can't keep bringing that shit up. You can't keep
it.
holding that shit over people's head. You can't keep,
Mm-mm.
making it seem like every incident is reminiscent of said action that caused you to forgive and need to forget.
Mm-mm.
But at the same token, some people make it hard for you to forget the shit that they do because,
Talk about it.
and he said it, he was like, if you are genuinely sorry. And I feel like a lot of times people don't be genuinely sorry for the shit that they're being forgiven for because they're being forgiven for it. So they're going to do it again because they feel like, well, you don't forgave me. So it kind of goes, for me, it goes back to that whole, if you keep allowing a person to disrespect you and treat you in a certain manner, you're only teaching them how to disrespect you even more each time you forgive them for some shit that they done did to you that you really shouldn't be accepting of. So for me, it's like, yeah, I'll forgive you. We're gonna move past it. But if you do this shit again, now we got a problem. Because you're not allowing me to forget because you keep making the same mistake twice. So kind of like Tripp said, are you really apologetic for that? Is your heart really hurting behind that? Do you feel like, oh, I'm not going to do this again because I don't want to jeopardize my relationship or situation or friendship even further by doing the same thing again, making the same repeated mistake, making the same misstep? So it's kind of like sometimes people don't give you the opportunity to forgive and forget. And sometimes people don't want to forgive and forget because it's almost like they just need that anger. They just need that hostility. They just need that pinpoint to make the negativity that they harbor for you or anything about themselves your problem.
Okay. Cooking. We cooking. Okay, we
I
cooking here. I
mean,
see you. I see you. That was hot. I like it.
right?
Um, so one of the things that struck me, right? Because it's
I
something
saw
that as a
you.
person, yeah, it's something that as a person who has to forgive, I have to acknowledge on my flaw, on being able to forgive when you said not feeling as though that person deserves or is worthy to be forgiven. That is a real big deal. That is
Yeah,
huge. Like feeling like a person doesn't deserve forgiveness changes the entire equation. Now,
yeah.
personally, there's two ways that I, Coach, I look at this. One, because, as much as I don't make the podcast about religion, I am a person who is of Christian faith. So I know if I'm going to live life the way it's close to the life I'm supposed to be living as it is, I have to learn to forgive people, even who I don't think deserve forgiveness. Now, there is the old cliche that forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. And I
For
and
you.
I
Yeah.
I respect the merit and truth in that because that allows you to heal. However, like I said, I've been on that side where I feel like, nah, I ain't even gonna cap with y'all. I know that person don't deserve to be forgiven. That motherfucker is not convicted. As Tripp said, I'm gonna use that word, referencing how you said they don't feel like they sorry, and
Yeah.
they gonna keep doing it because you keep letting them do it. That motherfucker is not convicted in their heart, in their mind, in their spirit, nowhere about the misdeed. They are still the same person who they were before you forgave them, after you forgive them, if you forgive them next time. You're gonna have to cut this person off completely.
Yeah.
And then they might come around. Problem is, they probably still the same person. They probably still the same person. It's just that they realized they lost, the consequence was greater now than what they had to suffer before, right? So I want to tie this into what he said in terms of you can't punish and forgive somebody at the same time. Now, again, according to my faith, it's not up to me to punish people. It's up to me to learn to love, forgive, so forth and so on. Well, guess what? I'm flawed. I ain't all the way there yet. What they say, he's still working on me because I ain't Frank Castle, but I will punish the shit out you. You hear me? And I'm not intending to forgive. I don't have that issue of punishing somebody I forgive because if I forgive you, I'm saying, all right, whatever it is you did, however bad it is, I want to work on repairing our friendship, partnership, relationship, kinship, whatever it is. I want that. I want the chance that it could be repaired and we could go back to being here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we gonna try this forgiveness thing, and we gonna try to get back to where we was at. But once I decide to punish you, I have removed forgiveness off the table. That's me. That's why I said I want to speak for me in this situation. I'll be vulnerable with y'all. Once I decide to punish you for whatever it is you did, I'm taking forgiveness off the table, Jack. I don't want to forgive you. I don't see myself forgiving you. I actually don't see us coming back from whatever it is you did. That's why I'm ready to punish you now.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
because like Tripp said, I don't think you could do both, right? Because you're poisoning the situation. If I bring you back into the fold, me and Mish, we brother, we sister, we partners in this podcast thing. If she fuck up my bag with this podcast thing, I got two choices: cut her and either roll solo and get somebody new, or we have it out. We do what we got to do to try to get back to the road of redemption. Like, listen, you're gonna have to work extra hard since you fucked my bag up. You're gonna have to you the editor now. We're not co-editing. You the editor now. You know what I'm saying? You stupid. you
No, seriously, took a note on that
I
because
know you
I got to
did.
circle back to that.
So like, if that's the case, then you know what I'm saying, cool. You got to show me that you are willing to try to repair this relationship. And it's not just me who wants to repair this relationship, but I'm not punishing you to get there. It's like, yo, you fucked my bag up. So now I got to see what you going to do to not do it twice. That's it. It's not about, oh, well, every
Right.
time you get on the phone and you try to book a guest, I'm doubling back on you. Yo, 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 yo. Did you do it? Did you do it? Did you do it? Every time you post a clip, I'm taking the clip down and going back to make sure you. That's punishing you while saying I forgave you. You know what I'm saying? I'm holding your fault over your head. Every time you go and
You're
you
not allowing
spend
me to
money,
progress.
And that's what I feel like it is. It's holding you back. It's going to make you resentful, no matter how much your conviction holds you accountable, no matter how bad you feel about what you did. You're going to feel less and less and less bad about it because I'm kicking you in the ass every chance I get. And it's going to make you resentful. So that's why I said I don't plan on forgiving people I punish, and I don't punish people I plan on forgiving. I am very, very clear with that distinction. Very much so.
And it's funny because you use the term resentment. And I feel like forgiveness is literally the conscious decision you make to release those feelings of resentment.
Absolutely.
So if you go into it still harboring resentment, you're not forgiving anybody anyway. You just hold on to keep holding on. Because I feel like a lot of times people do that shit. They
Lord.
forgive because it's comfortable to say, I forgive you. I'm
Mm.
gonna forget what you did, but you know you haven't released that resentment, right? So you play nice and you act like everything is all cool in the gang, everything all good in the hood. But whole time in the back of your mind, like you said, they do little shit to sidestep that forgiveness every single time because they still harbor resentment for you. And in the moment you hold them accountable for it, they want to act like, I don't know what the fuck you talking about. That's not what I'm doing. It's absolutely what you're doing. And you can say whatever you want. And you cannot forgive me, and nor will you forget the transgression because you keep doing little shit like that. And then it's like, all right, look, we good, we done. I'm not doing this no more. No, 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 I'm going to do the work to forgive. No, you're not. You have no intentions of doing said work. Because let's be honest, it is very hard work to forgive someone.
Oh
It's
yeah.
even harder to forget while you're trying to forgive. Because you like, especially for women, every little thing, I hate to use this example, but cheating, whether it be emotional or physical, right? If a man cheats, every little thing he does from then on is going to be scrutinized. Everything gonna look off. Every conversation is gonna be analyzed. Every out of the ordinary movement is gonna be questioned. You know, every friendship is gonna be put under the microscope. It's gonna be a whole bunch of bullshit. And then people wonder why men be like, you know what, I'm good, fuck it. Or they keep cheating.
Woo.
So
Woo.
it's like that's why I always tell women, if a man cheat on you, go ahead and move the fuck on. If you not a strong female, if you really can't sit and say, you know what, some of that shit on me. I'm gonna take accountability for some of that. Nah, no, put them back on. You need to hear this. Like, for real, y'all. Because I'm not saying no man is right to cheat, right? Because
Yeah,
as
yeah. We
Kitty
not
even said, I will find a clip where she said that is a decision a man makes,
we don't do
and
it.
that's a character flaw. Da 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 da. She's correct because there
You
can be
can't make
many reasons.
you
You
can't make
can't
it.
make a man do anything. He gonna do what he want to do, right? But it's the fact that I forgave you and you keep doing it. But why do you keep doing it? Have you recalibrated yourself in the way of forgiveness to make that man feel like, you know what? That one time I fucked up. I fucked up bad. And like Trip said, I'm showing remorse. I feel bad for what I did. It hurts. I know I done put myself and my family in a precarious position and I could lose all of this and I really don't want to. I was having a moment. But then you got some people that's like, man, this bitch getting on my nerves. So what's next? What's up? Like, who can I get at next? Who can I talk to? Where can I release what I got, in the way of resentment for the way this person's treating me because they haven't forgiven me? And I think people don't understand forgive and forget is a two-way street.
Oh,
It's not always on one person to do the forgive and forget work, right? I'm married. I definitely had some forgive and forget moments, but it's like, bro, you got to forgive yourself.
Oh,
for what
talk
you
about
did.
it.
You got to forgive yourself for what you did. I'm not bringing that up because, again, I'm a different type of individual, right? So it's like, if I say I forgive you,
Hold on, let me do like me. Take a
that's the
note because
work
I got
I'm
to
gonna
come back to
do
that.
to let that. Don't be trying to use my shit against me. But no, seriously, I'm the kind of
No,
female
I
that
really do
if
need to
I
come
say
back
I'm
to
gonna forgive you for
this.
something, no, same, right? So, because I haven't even hit that point yet. But if I say I'm gonna forgive you, there's no way in the world I'm always gonna be like, so where you going? Who you going with? Who all gonna be there? No, I don't. I'm not doing none of that. Like, if that's the kind of shit that I gotta do, if that's the way I gotta move to make sure you are moving in accordance with the vows we took and the agreement we made and the contract we have in place, then I need to go ahead and dead that business relationship. Because I said I look at marriage as a business. I need to go ahead and end that contract. I need to dead all of that. We have no more ties because you bringing other people into the business that I don't need to be in the business because they're not in the business is paying me.
Mm.
So you gotta go. But at the same time, it's like, why you keep doing the same shit that I'm trying to forgive you for it. And then you starting it over again. Like I said, you're not allowing me to forget it because you keep doing it. But that's a you problem. That's not a me problem.
Mm.
And I could make it a we problem, but you got to be willing to take accountability for it being a problem that you have to do some work to deal with. In order for me to wholeheartedly forgive you and forget the shit that you've done, it's kind of in a way of wrong.
Too real. Too real.
I mean,
Too
it's
real.
kind of like
Nah,
people really do look
it's
at
really a
forgive and
thing.
forgiveness. Yeah, it's really a thing. Like forgiveness and forgetting are they're such tough things to tackle because you can love
Absolutely.
someone all day long, but you don't love the shit they do to you.
Right.
And how are you gonna keep putting up with that and still love them the same way? And they don't realize that each time you do something I gotta keep forgiving you for, and I gotta keep trying to release that resentment for, I love you just a little less every single time. To the point where I'm like, I love you, but I just don't, I'm not in love with you. Like I done lost the love because it's clear that the things you keep doing to me that I don't like, right? Especially if it's some shit I don't like.
Yeah.
Making a mistake, you know, is one thing, but consciously doing shit repeatedly, knowing that that's going to set a person off, you don't like that person any motherfucking way. If you doing stuff like that, you hate their stinking guts. Cause
I
no, you
that.
can listen. So, let me ask you the question:
Okay.
if you tell anybody, whether it be your wife, your kids, your mama, whoever, hey, I don't like when you do X, Y, and Z. They go do it once. You say, okay, you did it. It's bothering me. I don't like it. I'm pissed off with you. I'm going to forgive you for that. And I'm going to move on from it and let it go. I'm going to forget about it. They do it again and again and again and again. So you just disrespectful ass motherfucker, huh? I done told you I don't like this. I done told you how it would make me feel. You doing it anyway. You can't care about me the way that you say you do or think you do if you keep doing shit that is going to set me off. This going to hurt my feelings. This going to make me feel less than. This going to make me feel disrespected. This going to make me feel minimized. You can't.
So I'm
And
gonna say
again,
this.
I get it. It's a
I'm
you thing, but still.
so because it's a you thing, that's why I don't agree, right? Because
Okay.
you thinking you love me or care for me the way you do, right, is not the same as the way I need it. You don't love me the way I need to be loved. You don't care for me the way I need to be cared for. If you did, you wouldn't repeat the disrespectful act. Now, I 100% agree that you a disrespectful ass motherfucker because you keep doing it. It doesn't mean you hate me. It doesn't mean you don't like me. And it doesn't mean you love me less. It is a you problem. You are a disrespectful ass. And
For sure.
you lack the self awareness to recognize its
Okay.
disrespect. Because it's
Okay,
one
I
thing when
can rock with
somebody
that.
go out of their way to screw you, because we know what that's like. When somebody going out of their way to screw you, it's different. Yeah, you don't like me, you don't love me, you really try like fuck my situation up. Like
Yeah.
you're not cheating on me because you need more. You're cheating on me because you're trying to break me down. Like you said, you want me to feel less than. You're trying to
Right.
destroy me so you could keep me in pocket while you do whatever it is you want to do. That's entirely different from somebody who cheated once, they cheated again because they didn't rectify whatever was wrong with them
Mm-hmm.
that made them think that cheating was okay. Now, granted, like you
Yeah.
said, the partner might have played a part in facilitating the cheating or motivating the cheating or even incentivizing the cheating because we said it on prior episodes.
Mm,
Sitting there telling somebody, well, go find somebody else to do it is incentivizing and inviting your partner to go do it with somebody else. Just to be clear.
actual
We
factuals.
are at no point saying that what we just finished saying. You can't make nobody cheat, but you can invite somebody. You can incentivize it. You
Yeah.
absolutely can. Whether y'all like to hear that or not, I'm sorry. That's the game. The game is the game. You can incentivize, motivate, and invite them to cheat, and they can still not do it. It's still their choice. Just making sure we're clear here. It's still their choice to go ahead and follow through with it. So it's still on them. It is still their responsibility to not go through with it. And if anything, just leave your ass. Be like, you know what? Nah, I'm done. I'm done. You make me want to go
Yeah.
ahead and do this other shit, so I'm gonna be out the door. And I'm gonna just leave you now. I'm gonna go do what I'm gonna do. Right? Right.
You
That's
made
the
me want to
actual
lead a
correct.
one away.
Okay? Like that's the actual correct steps to take if we keeping it a foul. But
It is. It is.
but
But that's a whole nother topic. And I
that
was going to
is.
ask a question that was going to lead to that. But, I'm going to save that for a future topic.
There you go. There you go.
But
She's a professional. She's a professional. But
noted.
but yeah, like you gotta so that's why I always kind of like I don't like to go too far out because there's certain times where we gotta keep in
Yeah.
mind we're responding in an emotional fashion. When you think that somebody
Yeah.
doesn't love you because they did you wrong, it can be an emotional fashion. Now I'm not saying you're always wrong because sometimes that shit is true. Okay. But again, we gotta analyze it. We can't just feel it. We can't just feel away. We got to analyze it. Like you said, why is that person doing XYZ that I already told them I don't like? Like
And a
I'll use
lot of
my
times
mom for
it
example.
goes back to that resentment shit.
I'll
It
go.
goes back to that resentment shit.
I'll use my mother for an example.
You
My
bold.
mother, for the longest, would refer to me as boy. Sat there and
Oh, yeah, we
told
talked about
her,
this.
yeah, yeah, I'm keeping it mild. That's my mom. I ain't, I ain't finna bust out. Sorry. So we get Patreon and that type of stuff. We ain't putting out that type of stuff, all right, y'all?
Right. We ain't gonna talk too greasy about the family
Once
sleazies.
we get like 500 subscribers, y'all want to get a Patreon going for us, okay, then I'll be willing to go ahead and sell out a little
Hey, we're
bit.
gonna hit you with you want to hit the rest? Meet us over at Patreon.
But for the free version, I'm going to go ahead and keep my head still on my shoulders so she don't slap it off.
Little PG-13 ish.
But no, she used to call me boy when she got mad. And I'm sitting there like, yo, you still doing this at 20 something? You still doing this at 30 something? So, yeah, sit down, head is told my mom, Mom, I understand I'm always going to be your son. I'm always going to be your child, but I am not a child. You gave me a name. Use it.
I'm not no damn boy.
I love the name. I do. But I don't like anybody getting mad and referring to me as boy. Anybody.
Yeah, that's
And I
kind of
told
wild.
her that, and I even told her at one point, I said, honestly, I even realized through therapy, you're the reason I get super mad when everybody else does it. Because I hate when you do it, but I can't do anything to you. Excuse me, to you.
Man,
So
watch it,
when
boy.
somebody else does it, I'm ready to rumble. When somebody else does it, now I got a super huge attitude.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? But Does she still do it from time to time? Yes, my mom loves me no less. My mom is not there for me
Right.
any less. And my mom is not carrying this huge beef with me to where it's like, you know what? I know what to fuck him up. You
Hey, boy.
know
Come
what I'm
here,
saying?
boy.
Come here, boy. You know what I'm saying? You lost, boy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, my God. That's hilarious.
Just a
Oh,
nasty
shit.
habit that she has. It's her being disrespectful. No two ways about it. It's her being inconsiderate. No two ways about it. But even after
Right,
having
right.
talked to her and her seem like she got an understanding, she don't internalize it. And she just looks at it as, okay, I get that you're upset. I'm gonna try not to do it. And then she defaults to I am who I am though.
See, that, and so that's the question I had, right? So you made the statement that you'd use the example of us, having a fallout over the pod. I fucked up the bag, whatever. What you said was we had a knockdown, drag out, all out fight, right?
Right.
When those things happen, do you think people really can come back from that? Because we know when that kind of shit happens, like, you and I've had tough conversations about how we're going to go with the pod and, what we want to do. And this, that, and the third will work for you, will work for me. And we've been like, all right, cool, bet. See you next week. How many episodes we recording? But we have a different relationship
Mm-hmm.
to where we keep it 100 with one another, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can have those knockdown dragouts with people like that.
Yes.
I have them with my sister in Louisiana all the time. And it's like she'll call me next morning, "What up, bitch? What you doing? Howdy ho, how your morning going?" And I'm just like, I love our relationship because we could go back and forth with one another and be just as pissed off when we get off the phone, but we're gonna call each other the next day like it's nothing. But why is it that in most relationships, when people have those knockdown drag out, the forgive and forget drags out?
You explained it perfectly. The relationship itself, the relationship that you and I have as
Mm,
friends, business partners, siblings, it's unique. It is unique. There's people who call themselves best friends and they not like you and me. You know what I'm saying?
bestie.
You know what I'm saying? Bestie,
Yeah,
BFF, whatever. And they gonna fall out.
yeah,
And if they have we can have the kind of fallout that they gonna have, but the one thing that I know is not gonna happen is voices raised, tempers raised, blood pressures raised, lines never get
never.
crossed between you and I.
Never, never,
Because
not
we
doing that.
both some funky motherfuckers. And we know where the line of no return is. We choose when we go there, we choose to
Yes.
go. We don't accidentally, me and you not the type that accidentally fall into the place of no
Never.
return with people. We take the step, we pick the foot up, we put the foot down, and here we are. I'm ready. You see what I'm saying?
Habitual motherfucking line stepper, baby,
Right.
because I will do it.
No. Because a habitual line stepper does it because they just do it. And that's what I'm saying. You're a conscious line stepper. I'm a conscious
I
line
guess.
stepper. You just do it more
I used
frequently
to
than
be
I.
okay. I used to be habitual. I ain't
You
gonna cap.
used
I
to.
used
You
to be
used to be.
habitual.
Yeah.
I used to be habitual. I ain't just like, bitch, I'm gonna do it because I can do it. What you gonna do about it? Nothing.
See, and
Nothing.
that's
Nothing.
what I'm
But
saying.
now I'm like, I'm conscious now. I'm conscious now.
And that's what I'm saying. That's where the difference is because people be habitual line steppers. People get caught up in their
Yeah.
feelings and people go to lengths to win the fight and win the argument. Me and you will sooner stop talking for a whole 2 weeks before me and you say some stuff that either one of us can't come back from.
Yeah. Yeah. I've learned my lesson about that.
We are
It
absolutely
don't.
defined in that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I've said stuff that pissed you off. You said stuff that pissed me off. A day later, 2 days later, nah, what was that about, yo?
About nothing. About
What,
nothing. Man,
what,
listen, my
what,
bad. You
what,
having a bad day.
what was that? You know what I'm saying? And that's how I go. Or you'll sit there and be like, nah, Ray, I don't feel like getting into it with you. But you
What you
said,
telling me? So you got it today, sis. You got it. Appreciate you, big dog. Cause
you know,
we don't want to do this today.
okay. But like you said, that's
No,
that
for
being
real.
able to keep it 100. That's that open communication. If this podcast don't
Yeah.
represent anything else, if I don't leave y'all with anything else, if Mish don't leave y'all with anything else, the importance of communication is literally what drives
Oh,
us as a podcast and what we want to pass off to the people who listen and watch us. Like, communicate, yo. If
facts,
you can
facts,
openly
facts.
communicate, you'll be surprised to see what you can come back from, and you'll be surprised to see where you never go, despite your temper. Mish got a far worse temper than I do.
It's horrible, guys.
But again, even on times I flat out pissed her off, she felt like I might have been dissing her. We never crossed line. We just seen each other not too long ago when yelling in a freaking vehicle at each other. Full blown yelling
Going at it.
for like
The
two
shit
whole
funny
miles.
now. Oh shit.
For
The
two
shit
whole,
funny now.
you know what I'm saying? Straight up yelling at each other, y'all. And we got out the
Yeah, it
vehicle and
was
you
crazy.
would not be able to tell. I'm
Yes,
still,
and
you gotta walk,
oh my god, it's
you
so
gotta
funny.
walk behind me, not because of some subservient stuff, but I gotta make sure you good. Everywhere you at in the mix, I'm at, or I got my eyes every
Yeah,
5 seconds. The same way I
yeah.
would
Oh
have
my gosh,
if
that's
nothing
funny.
had happened and everything had been cool the whole ride.
Yeah,
But that's what
and
I'm
that's what I
saying.
don't understand.
Because
Like
people
people
can't
just
do it. People can't do it for two reasons. Two reasons. One,
yeah. Tell them, please tell me.
they don't know how to be that 100. Two, they don't know how
Mm.
to accept that 100. Not Charles on Facebook. Go and see a post. I put can't keep it 100 with everybody because y'all don't know how to accept the honesty you're asking for. I
You
just posted
definitely
that.
said that.
I
You
just
definitely
posted that.
did. Definitely did.
Just did because it's
Yeah.
so true. So many people be honest with me. I respect you more if you're honest with me. I can handle if you know the
That's a
fuck you
bold
can.
face ass lie.
Because you ain't cut
You're
like
lying.
that.
You're lying. You're lying. Exactly. You're not cut like that. You're lying.
Like that.
Like
Because the truth
it's
gonna make you
crazy.
reflect on yourself. The
Yeah.
truth
And
will
I
make
think
you
that goes
reflect
back
on
to the
yourself
accountability
in a
piece.
situation. Boom, there you go. So if I tell you
Yeah.
your food is nasty, you can't cook worth a damn, and that's the real reason why I'm always eating before I hit your crib. Even though you sought out to cook for me the other day, because you're like, damn, he always spending money. I'm gonna look out for bro. You know what I mean? Give him a home cooked meal. And I was like, oh damn, I forgot you was cooking.
Don't.
That was easier to sell to you than to sit there and tell you you can't cook worth a damn and you really need help in the kitchen. Whatever
Yeah.
measurements you're reading, whatever it is, whatever seasonings you own, you don't know how to use them. And then when I turn around and tell you that, it's, oh, you ungrateful motherfucker. After I sit here and try to save you, I could find another man to cook for. Now we not cool. Now we not
Yeah.
cool. But you told me you
Yeah.
respect me if I was honest with you. You told me you would appreciate it. You told me give you the truth and let you see what you're gonna do with it.
Yeah.
But I already know what you're gonna do with the truth because you're not built like that. Now, me on the other hand, because people like to twist that concept around and be like, "Oh no, it's not that people can't handle the truth. You can't handle the consequences of the truth." Yes, I can. If telling you the truth means me
Absolutely.
and you are done, it means me and you are done. And I get to
Yeah.
sleep well knowing that I gave you the truth you wanted and you couldn't handle it well enough for us to
Right.
maintain our partnership. I'm cool with that shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss you, but I'm gonna get. I know I didn't do you wrong. You know what I'm saying? Whereas in, like I said, some people don't know how to be that honest because they're not honest with themselves. That's the two reasons
Right.
why you can't have that level of communication. Me and you are people who both worked on ourselves. We still flaw. We still have our issues. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same
For sure.
time, we are willing to be in spaces with people where we just be like, listen, this is uncomfortable to say. I wish I didn't have to say it, but I'm gonna say it because it has to be
Right.
said. And whatever happens from there happens from there. that makes forgiveness and moving forward so much easier to do, because one, you
Yeah.
establish trust because that person was honest with you to a fault, even at risk of it being inconvenient for them.
Right.
Two, it establishes consistency. Three, it establishes dependability. So you already know how they wired. You get it.
Yeah.
And it's easier to deal with people when you know how they cut and how they wired than and it's for the better than to know this is going to end bad simply because this person can't hack it.
Yeah.
It's just tough.
And, you know, it is tough because it also begs to make the point that people need to be honest with themselves when they tell someone, I'm gonna forgive you for this. Why are you lying to yourself? You know you have no intention. You know it's not in you. Like you said, you're not cut like that to really forgive somebody because said indiscretion is going to eat away at you. So if you just be honest with me and be honest with yourself in the interim, it might save us a whole lot of heartache, strife, pain, suffering, anger, resentment, stress, betrayal, hurt, all that shit. But I think some people, they like lying to themselves to tell themselves, "Oh, I'm gonna forgive you for this. I can do it." And then the moment they realize they can't, it's like they can't go back from that. They can't double back from it. But why would you keep going on with that shit, knowing that it's not gonna work for you?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It
It
it,
goes
it doesn't make any sense.
it goes back to our
So
accountability episode where we literally said
yeah.
that, the accountability is both gift and curse. Um,
Hmm.
it's a weight, you know what I'm saying, when you have to be honest about what your flaws is.
Right.
But it's a gift because it allows you to not always have to bump heads with the same flaw the same way
Right.
because you can recognize it. That accountability brings self-awareness. Um, so yeah, when people can't be honest with themselves, man, it's the jail they in. It's a jail they in. The problem is they bring everybody else to fuck with them.
Yeah, and
You making
I
me
think
serve
it's
your time.
because I think they feel like, to me, so when it comes to forgiveness, right? Like I think they look at it like, if especially people know like there's a instance they have to forgive someone for, they feel like people look at it as like you're condoning that hurtful behavior.
Yes.
So instead of just saying, I'm not gonna worry about what everybody think about my forgiveness, the path to forgiveness and the way of forgetting, I'm just gonna worry about how this worked for you and I. People get so wrapped up in worrying about what other motherfuckers are gonna say
Mm-mm-mm.
about why they're forgiving. Why you forgiving him for that shit, girl? Because I fucking want to.
You look dumb.
Because yeah, exactly.
You a nut.
So
You a
it
nut. I wouldn't
it
do it if I
makes
if I, if I was me. If I was you, I wouldn't do that.
and you ain't me, so don't worry about what I'm doing.
Bingo.
And I really
Bingo.
feel like motherfuckers, their forgiveness is delayed because they so worried about what other motherfuckers gonna say
And though
about
the
why they forgiving
phrase
a person.
and though the phrase is delayed doesn't always mean denied, when it comes to this forgiveness, a lot of times that delayed means denied.
Facts.
It does.
Facts.
Because you never get to the point where you could actually do it. And I want to spin
Yeah.
back on what you said in terms of, realizing that you ain't cut to forgive. I want to say to you people who are not cut to forgive, whatever that is, you are not cut to forgive, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It's
perfectly
it's fine.
okay. It is
It
perfectly
literally
okay, yo.
is.
It really is. Whatever
It
it is.
is.
It
I
doesn't matter.
promise you it
It
is.
does not matter that your mom, auntie, sister, cousin, brother, daddy, whoever forgave whoever for this much greater transgression or sin. It does not
Yeah.
matter, yo. I, yo, you had a brown streak in your drawers. and then had nerve to saddle up on top of me and want to rob my face. I smelt boo boo. I do not forgive you. We are done.
You knew what you were doing. We're good.
We're done. We're done. I can't tolerate it. I can't tolerate it.
Yeah.
You know
It's
what
not
I'm
for me.
saying? Another motherfucker be like, hey, babe, come on. Go wash up. Go wash up and come back. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine if that's what he's cool with. But if it's here, hey, no, boo boo butt, get out of here. I'm done with you.
No.
It's not something
It's not working for me.
It's not something I'm willing to forgive because you too grown to have boo boo butt and be bringing in on another male. That's diseases can happen, shorty.
And honestly,
on top of it just being a discomfort.
So stupid.
It's
But
gonna
honestly,
it's gonna make me think some negative things about you. But even if
I'm gonna think lesser of you.
I'm being playful, but at the same time, like whatever it is that you can't forgive, it's cool that you can't forgive. The thing is, just don't forgive it though. I know everybody in the world is gonna sit there and be like, "Oh, this is a great person. You got to get past this. Oh, that's your friend for however long. You got to get past this. Y'all been friends for too long.
No, I don't.
Oh, that's your brother. That's your sister.
No, I don't.
That's your auntie.
So?
You don't want to let this go, and then they die, and then you have this unresolved. I agree about having it unresolved. That don't mean I got to let it. I can't let it go. I let it go, and that's my resolve. I'm resolved. I'm resolved as fuck. Like I'm good. I'm good.
Gucci.
With Uncle Philip not being the homie no more. He crossed me. Uncle Philip, you crossed me, nigga.
We're done.
I'm not going to beat you like a nigga in the streets who I don't know because I forgave you for how you crossed me, but you crossed me in such a fashion that I no longer want anything to do with you, and I'm going to love you from afar, G.
And people act like that's not a thing.
Stay over there, homie.
People really do act like that's not a thing. You can completely forgive someone and never fuck with them again.
And that's what the question was about forgiveness being linear. I want to bring that part of the conversation back in. That's what she means by forgiveness being linear. Is that it seems like it just has to be straight across the board for those who want to act like they don't know what linear means. Acting like it has to be just this straight line, like it's not gonna have I forgave you, but like how about Misha said, I forgave you, but you gave me a reason to make it hard to forgive you. So I'm having trouble forgiving you right now. I'm doing my best to forgive you, so we right here. Damn, dog, you did it again? Okay, you haven't done it. Oh, but hold on. My triggers got me feeling away. So you might not even be guilty right now. But because I'm having problem dealing with my triggers because of what you did, now the forgiveness has a problem with it. But it doesn't mean that we can't get here, that I won't get to the destination where that's not a thing for me anymore. It doesn't mean that. So, like you said, I can forgive you and choose not to deal with you anymore. It doesn't mean you're not worth forgiveness. It means I know you're not good for me. You're not healthy for me. We don't coexist well. We don't coexist peacefully.
Right. Yeah.
And because I know you'll betray me again, and that betrayal might be the one that had me sending you off. It makes no sense for me to be in your company.
Yeah. I think my biggest issue with the forgiving, and the part of the execute wisdom is you have to understand that there, like he said, there is no time frame, time limit, time lapse on it. It could be 2 days. Some people get over shit quick. It could be 200 days and they just barely getting over it. It could be 2 years, 10 years. If a person say they're going to forgive you, you have to be willing to be in that shit for the long haul and know, which is what we always say, KYP, know your personnel.
Know your personnel.
Somebody gonna say they can forgive you, but you very well know that forgiveness is not going to come swift, quick, and easy. The forget may never come. And you have to decide if that's some shit you want to deal with in the process of them trying to get to that linear space of forgive and forget. Because, like you said, some of these triggers, man, look, I know I saw something where it was like, no one can trigger you. You trigger yourself. And that's a fact. Because in the instance of let's use cheating again. He cheated. You forgave him. You are triggered by a conversation that you think he's having that seems inappropriate to you. That's your trigger. That's not him triggering you. So you have to understand that, hey, I know I did this. They say they're going to forgive me. They will be triggered by things I do. I'm not triggering them purposefully, but they're triggered by it, and I got to be willing to work through that. Because you got some people they're the, person that has been.
What do you mean by willing to work through that? What do you mean by that? Clarify that for me.
Means you might say, baby, I ain't doing that. And she might say, I need to see your phone. If you ain't doing nothing, you willing to hand that phone over to prove that the work you doing to head towards forgive and forget?
And see, this is where we get dicey because that's really close to that punishing you. That's really close to that punishing you.
It is. It's the toe on the line thing, right?
Yeah. I don't know about that.
It's very much toe on the line, but because I'm using the example of cheating,
and it's
because
very
I'm using
real.
the example
It's a very real example.
Yeah, it's very real.
Very real example. Very practical.
It is.
Very practical.
It is. But it could be anything. Like, I mean, I deal with people, who I'm just friends with, right? And I'm females. These iPhone users, they get on my fucking nerves. You should get an iPhone so you can share your location with me. Why? I share my location with you for why? I don't need you, and you can't come save me. I can save myself. Listen. I'm on my Nipsey shit. I stay dangerous in order to be safe. I don't need you to know where I'm at. Like the people who need to know. I don't need you tracking me every 24 hours of the day. Why are you in Starbucks without me? I had a conversation with someone last Friday. We went to dinner. These people that love seafood boils, I'm over it. Mm-hmm. But we were having a relationship conversation, and it was like, because I just want to know he's safe. No, you don't. Mm-hmm. You want to know where he at. Mm-hmm. You want to be able to track that ass because you don't trust that ass. Mm-hmm. They were like, oh, because my friend had a situation where she ordering food and she, off the boyfriend phone, she ordering food and she saw an address in the DoorDash delivery for recent addresses that she didn't recognize. Oh. That's that shit I'm talking about where you got to be willing to work through that. Because absolutely she's going to say, who address is this? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I don't know if you a dumb nigga, you ordering food to somebody address off your DoorDash and handing your main bitch your phone to order food through DoorDash for y'all. You kind of dumb, my nigga. You probably need to reevaluate your whole life, because I would never, if I was doing something I had no business, not handing you my phone. And and he could very well not been doing anything. He could have sent food for somebody else. Right. But are you willing to deal with the fact that she gonna question you about something that look off? And you gonna have to answer to that and kind of atone for, hey, she asking you this question because of some shit you done did that she working through her forgiveness for.
Now that I'll absolutely agree on. As annoying as it may seem, as however you might feel about it, yes, you owe her the answer. You owe her the answer. She might
she can't ask you this shit every day, but yeah.
She might be completely out of bounds questioning you, but you owe her the answer.
And that's part of you knew what you was signing up for when you let this person tell you, baby, I'm going to forgive you. We're going to keep on working through this. We're going to keep on moving. We're going to keep on shaking, shucking, and jiving. But just know I'm watching you. I got my eye on you. I want to know everything you do. Like, I remember, like, personal example. I remember telling her, "Hey, you want me to believe where you at? Send me your live location. Otherwise, don't call me trying to tell me where you at because now I'm gonna be like, you ain't been telling me where you at, so why are you telling me all of a sudden? So now it looks suspicious. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Just be normal. Do normal shit. Don't do shit you ain't got no business doing, and nobody will be like none the wiser, none the wiser. Like, so it's for me. It's like and whole time he knew I was on joke time, because I'm not with that kind of shit. Please, because I'm not sending you my live location.
Right. Yeah, I ain't with it.
Yeah, I'm not with it. I'm not with that shit because you either gonna trust that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm at where I say I'm at, and I'm with who I say I'm with, and I'm gonna be back when I say I'm gonna be back. Or you gonna track every little step because you don't trust me. Because I done did some shit you working to forgive me for, and I understand that that's probably a problem for you. I don't want to deal with that.
Right.
That's why I say if I ever cheat, just go ahead and cut me loose because I cheated for a reason.
Ooh.
I cheated for a reason.
Ooh, we gonna wrap.
And
we gonna wrap.
yeah,
We gonna wrap. That's
so
the point. We gonna tie this episode out because you give it too much for other future content. You
yeah,
wild.
look, notice with the other
I gotta rein you in. You wild.
yeah,
It's a totally different
yeah,
conversation. For real.
it is, but at the same
But I
time,
feel
it's
what you're
like
saying.
all that's to say is I'm not gonna do nothing that I'm gonna have to beg for forgiveness for.
That's respectable.
And people should stop doing shit that they want to beg for forgiveness for, but then don't want to put in the work for the forgiveness to be bestowed upon them.
However, let's be clear, because Trip mentioned a very good point that I want to mention before we leave. Performative gestures, proof.
Ooh, yes.
Performative gestures, so-called proof of redemption and these sort of things. I know people feel like they need them. I know a lot of people was raised to believe in these things. But honestly, it's really just conditional forgiveness. You're not genuinely forgiving this person. You're keeping them on a leash. You're punishing them. You're not really forgiving them. You're punishing them and you're keeping them on a leash and making sure, hey, sit up. Beg. Roll over. Show me you love me. Like that it's very much what it is. So,
and that's where I was going with the whole don't send me your live location because that's performative. Like for me, that's I'm not doing all of that. Like, listen, you say you going here, you gonna be here, whatever. Because again, we can go back to our whole, intuition episode. Anything you doing in the dark gonna always come to the light, and it's always gonna fall in my lap. So I'm not doing all of that. Like I said, I forgive you. Please don't do it again. We good. Don't make me have to talk about this again. Sure. That's literally how I operate. Like, and if it's gonna be a problem for me, hey, you go ahead and stay the fuck on over there because that I'm not gonna be able to forgive. I'm not gonna get past that. I am going to give you hell every day about it. It's gonna be a problem for me. Everything you do is gonna be problematic in the way of that. So let's just go. Like I tell people all the time, one of the things that Art probably loved about me is the fact that when something didn't serve me, it didn't work for me. I didn't like how someone was moving. All my past relationship, we good. I had a great time, but we're done here. You done. Nope. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I'm about to drop a dime on them niggas. Like every time he asked me, so why'd you break up with this person? Because he did X, Y, and Z, and I told him I'm not with that shit. Listen, been standing on business, okay? Because again, like I said before, when you keep forgiving people for shit that you done told them I'm not with, they just gonna keep disrespecting you more and more and more and more and more. So you folks, don't forgive people that you really don't want to forgive. Don't forgive people for some shit you told them you don't want to be bothered with dealing with. Don't forgive people if you know you not going to really do the work to forgive them. Don't forgive a motherfucker if they not showing remorse. If they not, and we didn't talk about this, if you not really getting that heartfelt, verbal apology from a person and then they putting in the action behind the apology, don't be bothered. Like you know, if you don't have no patience, don't be bothered. Go get some counseling. You know what I'm saying? Like,
by all means.
It's
by all means.
The forgive and forget is not cut and dry.
Never.
It's not clear and concise. And I need people to stop making it to be, because it's not ever going to be. It's a case by case basis. And I need people to start being honest with themselves. And listen, I will never forgive you for that shit you did to me. And be cool with that. But you so say don't want to let motherfuckers go because you want to have a hold on a nigga or a female. Life don't work like that.
No,
it just don't.
It's unhealthy. It's unhealthy. And as we close, may I refer y'all, because we said a lot of things that we said in our accountability episode and our apology episode. The accountability episode is episode 28, and the apology episode labeled Sorry Ass Sorry, that's episode 41. So go back and you'll see some things where the threads all tie together to the kind of shit that we were saying here. And you'll see just how much of that enters into this discussion, which was a great discussion tonight. We thank you guys for joining us. Niche, is there anything that you need the audience to know before we wrap this joint up? Anything you got going on? Anything you want folks to look for? Anything you need to promote? Shout out to your folks.
No, I mean, I promise you I'm going to start making some content for the pod, so y'all might see my face a little more. I'm trying to, do more, be more present and visible. So hopefully you guys see my face more, because I know y'all love me.
Indeed. I haven't forgot about merch. This is the first step. I'm just working on trying to get the craft under my belt. So I haven't forgot to try to bring y'all some merch this year. I said this year, yes, indeed. We got tumblers, we got shirts. People who was at the last live show got buttons for free. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of live show, October 19th, Crush Lounge out in the Northeast, Rising Sun. The podcast link group, we will be back together once again. Dana, Star, Tone the promoter, Mr. Know-It-All, Taya the creator, Sunny, Hype, and of course me, will be united once again at Crush Lounge. You know what I'm saying? We will be out there. It starts at 4:00. Once again, we only charging y'all $20 to get in. And this will be focused on hip hop. We have an exact focus this time, specifically around hip hop. We're gonna have some fun. Y'all go get live entertainment. Comedian Mel Harris, he'll be hosting it again. We got YB Norris coming to be your live entertainment. And it's gonna be liquor there because it's at a lounge. And it's gonna be food there. So you go ahead, you know what I'm saying? Feel free to come through. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. The link is in my bio. So go ahead, grab a ticket for you and whoever come in with you. All right. That is October 19th. That is on a Saturday this time, not a Sunday. Saturday.
Yay.
All right. So I'll be in the place. Hopefully Mish can make it back down and chat up with us, have some fun. You feel me?
Yeah. I'm not in Guam, I'll be there.
There you go. All right. So as I always say, man, be smart, be respectful, please. Be safe and stay dangerous. Be kind to as many people as you possibly can. I know some people make it impossible. Forget about them. But make sure to take time every single day to be kind to yourselves. You cannot pour out of an empty cup, okay? We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We're going to see y'all around. Misha already told you y'all finna see some more of her, so look forward to that. You know what I'm saying? Because she's a woman of her word, if nothing else. All right?
For sure.
We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. But we getting up out of here. Peace.